Hi all, we have had a few requests and some of our fans have reached out, so we're trialling lapel mics. To let you in a bit of a secret, we've just filmed this whole app in silence. And the other big request has been you want to see more of my lovely daughter Storm. So without further ado,
welcome to Hibiscus Hatchery!
Storm, that's one good thing we got to do a run through before, and Storm is by far the better talent. So anyway, tonight is probably the third time this season that Punga hasn't gone back to the hutch by himself, and that's what we're going through tonight, is our nightly ritual essentially, and the reasons why we do it. Why do we put them in bed every night into the hutch if they haven't done it themselves?
We don't like them to be in the cold, and we
don't like them to sleep rough, but it's not necessarily all of that. We don't really have predators in this country, but there are domestic cats and potentially rats. Not that we've had any issues. Time to time we are middle of suburbia, so we get the odd dodgy neighbour who chooses not to put out their rubbish and store it in the shed next door, which we had a bit of an issue last season. Punga here is named, we didn't name him. He has been gifted to us indefinitely. He's our, we replaced him, so his first progeny went to Anthony, that I have the utmost respect for. I'm a bit saddened that he's leaving the country, but he already knows that. But Punga here is cherished. He doesn't like me so much. He's been here a couple of years. He's been a good father. He's sired quite a few babies now. When I'm going to not hold on to his hands so much, and we're going to put him back. He's got a beautiful shell. He's been raised really well by Anthony, and he's very much enjoying...
And he's got two lovely wives.
He does. What's their names?
Daisy and Jilly.
And who has he replaced?
Fred.
Yeah, and Fred was much bigger, but Fred must have been very old. He came in the original creep that we purchased. A creep is a term for a group of tortoises.
And also he died sadly.
Yes, but we weren't too concerned as he had had a really good life and he was old. He had a brilliant shell too, and we're going to go through the shell taxonomy essentially, and why some of our tortoises look the way they do. Punga is a Eastern Hermann's, and
which is a type of tortoise.
Yeah, it's the only Hermann species that we have in this country that we know of. Because over time, and this is the thing about nobody being perfect, we're definitely not perfect. We'll go through the pros and cons on...
And no one is perfect.
No, nobody's perfect. And that's the thing, we're not trying to bash, we're just trying to show how we do things. Tonight's weigh night. We're weighing every night. We're keeping a weight log of the girls mainly. For what reasons?
It's because if they've lost a amount of weight, then they've laid eggs, so we have to go find the eggs and check the cameras.
Yes, if we haven't already seen them do it. The other thing is, what's another reason why we're weighing them over the whole season?
It's because they can have
Parasites?
lots of clutches and also parasites.
Yeah, and so if we have a loss of weight over the season, this is the other thing, we're not perfect. We don't do this every season. This is the first season that we're doing this, and this is more to keep my anxiety down from the egg laying. We are going to, I've purchased us a digital microscope, so hopefully that will be here around Christmas. And it's just to show a cheap and easy way to do worm counts. So we know where we're actually at with our tortoises. Obviously in a creep like this, it's difficult to, not extremely difficult, but because we see them doing their feces. And if we collect it straight after that and then have a check, we will know which tortoise it is. But you know, it's one of those things, and this is another big thing that we're going to have to request some of our overseas viewers as well, and what different choices there are for us in New Zealand.
And also, in an upcoming video, we're going to be learning about the foods they can eat and cannot eat.
Yes, definitely, and how we know that. That's not our research. We use an app, and we use two apps which we're going to go through, and they're both free apps. One is outstandingly brilliant for the husbandry of tortoises, and that's the Tortoise Table app. But without any further ado, we'll show you. We've already done a quick check. We've shut the door at the back of the hutch. We're going to go onto the hutch and start weighing them and show you how you weigh. And we've found that Margarita and Daisy, funnily enough, they are some of the two more reliable ones that will go in the hutch at night as well. So I'll put Panga in the hutch. Storm will pass the big girls over to me, the big Greek girls that we have. So that's Marigold. You pass that to me. Thank you. And we'll get to weigh them. We're going to jump into the hutch.
And also,
Can you?
if you're in a different country,
We're going to tell you the weights
in different ways,
Yeah.
so you know what numbers it is, because we are in a different country and some of you are overseas.
Yeah. Well,
And some of you are in New Zealand, like us.
yeah. So currently it's fairly late at night. It's nearly bedtime, isn't it, Storm?
Yes.
7:30ish, and we're at 20 degrees Celsius, which is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. In the shade, so that's good. Nice and mild. Right at the end of spring, technically for us. New Zealanders, especially Aucklanders, we believe that summer starts at the beginning of December, but technically it actually starts around the 20th. And yeah, this is our beautiful Margarita. She's our heaviest, and we'll jump in there and show them what we do. So we're in the hutch. We're just about, it's just on dusk here. We're just putting the tortoises away. Majority of them, well, three of them, half of them tonight. And we're going to try and give you weights in
Different countries.
not different countries, different weight scales. So New Zealand we do metric, but we also do a bit of imperial when we talk about heights, because New Zealand didn't change, we had changed from the imperial system to the metric system in, I think, about 76, around when I was the year of my birth. But anyway, we'll get onto it. So you want to grab Panga. We might as well weigh him first.
Because he is not in the hutch.
He's not in the hutch, so that makes it easy. So we have some scales here from just our local automotive stockist. They're and a bucket. So I'll quickly show that to you. Nice and simple little scale. So they seem pretty good. They're probably not that super wonderful for if you want to get, but they're able for us to keep a log, and that's what it's really about. I'll tear that off. Weigh Panga. So Panga is 1.150 grams. So 1 kg, 150 grams. He is 2.54 pounds and 40.6 ounces. You want to grab him out?
Yep.
He's our lightest, he's our stud Hermann. Good work, I'll pass that to you.
Good boy.
So the hutch was made quite a long time ago, and has a few not major design flaws, but we made it 20 years ago with no knowledge of keeping tortoises. It's a fairly rare thing in New Zealand, and we got the original creep in the middle of winter. Who are you doing there? You're doing Zeus. Awesome. So he's our other boy, which we haven't been taking a huge log on. We're just doing them daily now because we've set it up quite well. So he's 1.9 kgs and he's 4.19 pounds and he's 67 ounces. So you're doing a great job there, Storm. With the far end down there, it's mesh, so that's sort of one of the better things because our UV is much higher here in New Zealand. We have a hibiscus in here and it's just starting to grow its leaves back. It gets quite damp in here. This hutch is actually dug down a metre. So Margarita is 2.20 kgs, so she's 2 kgs, the heaviest, and she's 25 grams. She's 4.46 pounds, which is the weight of your cousin when he was born. And we're going too far and she's 71 ounces, 0.3 ounces. 71.3 ounces. Better write that down quickly.
I thought you already wrote that down.
I had, but because we're doing this for the episode and that was just recorded, but we're all good, it makes it all more fun. So at least you're hopefully getting audio because we've done this whole track without audio, so it's all a good learning curve. We're going to go into Terra, or the actual
Terra, please.
Good work. The topography of enclosures, and she's 1.4 grams, so she's 1 kg 400 grams, which is 3 pounds, 3.09 pounds and 49.4 ounces, and we're just needing chili now, aren't we? Yeah, I'll grab her for you.
I thought.
So they have a door out the back of this hutch here that we open every night, open every morning and close every night.
We forgot someone.
No, we haven't. Chili. No. Who else have we forgotten?
So you know the other girl who loves this?
Yeah, you got Marigold.
And?
We got Margarita. Oh, we haven't got Marigold.
See?
No. Yes, we haven't. Okay. So, can you put Jilly in there? I'll tear that for you.
What a wiggle worm.
She is a wiggle worm.
Good girl. No more wiggling.
So how heavy is she?
She is
1.300. So she's 1 kg 300 grams. So that's roughly about what weight she was when she was laying. So we're hoping that we got another clutch in out of her this season, but I'm not 100% sure we will. And it's really positive that they've got up to that sort of weight if they're not. She's 2.87 pounds and she's 45.9 ounces. I better get that and do my job. So you've got Marigold, right? She's the last.
Yes, could you?
Yeah, I can get the barley straw off her. The other side effect for the barley straw is that we use a bit of it in the pre-filter for the pond, and I think it helps keep the algae down, to be fair. I have also UV filtration in there, and that's something we're going to go into with the pond.
And food.
Yeah, put food, yeah, with the hibiscus and different types of hibiscus that we have. But Marigold here hasn't laid any eggs. She's the heaviest that she's been, and she's 1.815 kg, so she's 1 kg, 815 grams. She is 4 pounds on the nose, and she is 64 ounces. Bang on. So we're really hoping that she's going to lay this season for the first time for us, aren't we? It'll be really nice.
Yeah, that would be so good.
Yeah, we're just waiting. The Greeks seem to lay later on in the season. We have missed one clutch. I think it was late last season, and it may have been Margarita. It could have been Marigold.
Give it up.
I know I got to give it up. Don't I?
Yes.
But so this is a nightly ritual for us. We come into the hutch, don't we? And
It's not a ritual, so we don't do this hum, tortoises.
But we do it, well, it is sort of meditation for me. Well, it's double-edged. It's got a double-edged sword, really, isn't it? Because if they are light, I got to figure out if it's just from them passing feces.
Or peeing or pooping.
Yeah, peeing or pooping or urates, which is another thing that we'll talk about. In their urine, not always, but on a regular basis, you'll see a white discharge, sort of like birds, and that's what is called urates, and that's the excess of calcium. And it's another thing that we'll go into in regards to being comfortable in their diet. If your tortoise is passing urates, it means you're definitely giving them enough calcium. Yeah, it will happen. It's not to be. There's all different levels of what we're going to try and do here. We're very much trying to educate everybody at an entry level on how to look after Hermanns and Greek tortoises. Those are the only tortoises that we have, so that's the only experiences we have. We're going to go through the pros and cons and what we have and haven't done. At the beginning, when we set up this hutch, I thought it would be sufficient for keeping our original creep of 5 tortoises, but it's not, is it? We couldn't keep these in all year round in here, could we? They'd be climbing up the walls.
They would be like, let me out.
Well, they do, don't they? Daisy busts out, doesn't she? So Daisy actually...
Did I finish my talk?
Sorry.
They're going, no, let me out.
Well, they don't talk, but she is correct in a lot of ways. What Zeus will do is that he actually uses the glass and the side of the house, which we will show you at a later stage, and he knocks against it to get our attention, and then we let them out. Daisy does a sort of similar thing. She'll climb up against that glass and try and look through the house. Tortoises, there's a cognitive test done by a lady, a professor.
And they're very smart. We learned that they can use their head to control a tablet.
Yes. And so they've been assessed to be as clever as rats, and so they have very interesting body language that you can pick up on and educate yourself to.
You do this to Zeus.
Yeah, Zeus.
Give him tickles.
Yeah, Zeus likes attention. Zeus will get very.
He likes to be in the spotlight.
He likes a lot of attention towards the end of the season, doesn't he? So when the other tortoises go into brumation, he's sort of our anti-brumator. He lasts quite a long period of time not sleeping. Yeah, he doesn't go into brumation. So this is all the things that we're going to show you that about brumation. Brumation is the new term, or more specific term, on the hibernation of reptiles, and there's reasons why we don't use the same word, because hibernation is for mammals and brumation's for reptiles. And so when it comes to the husbandry of tortoises, you don't get confused with what you may think a mammal would do, like a bear. Yeah, so that's about it. It's late at night. You're supposed to be getting in your pajamas, aren't you?
Yeah, I usually have milk before bed.
Okay. So we better make sure you got a milk before bed. You'll get into your pajamas. I'll have to edit this quickly, so you, but we're very grateful that you've joined us. I'm sure all the subscribers and what we call our fans are really happy.
Daddy,
Yeah? Add into their diet.
it's so don't forget to like and subscribe to Hibiscus Hatcheries.
Thank you so much.
Bye.